Warning, this article contains spoilers from Death in Paradise. Death in Paradise Season 12 is nearing its end with the penultimate episode airing tonight, Friday, February 10, on BBC One. The sixth installment saw the Onere police force investigate the murder of a water taxi driver after DI Neville Parker, played by Ralph Little, received an anonymous tip-off. By the end of the episode, he knew exactly who was behind the murder but was still left dissatisfied and frustrated. After water taxi driver Jake Dalton's, Ben Tavasoli, body was found, it was up to DS Naomi Thomas, Chantal Jackson, to inform his wife, cleaner Rose Dalton, Cara Theobald. As part of the investigation, the officers paid her employer David Cartwright, Patrick Kennedy, a visit and he seemed to be more than helpful. Neville wasn't sure what to make of the former criminologist, even though it seemed he did have a rock-solid alibi, as he was filming his live Q&A at the time of Jake's death. This didn't stop Neville looking into the smug suspect and eventually realized that he had filmed the online session from the Daltons' bedroom with Jake's body laid out in front of him. The Apprentice star asked for drinking on flight to Dubai when Neville confronted him. He said he would be able to prove he was the killer as the forensic experts would find his DNA. But David quickly pointed out he had been to the room prior to the murder to give some keys to his employee Rose. This means there would be no concrete evidence to prove he was the murderer. David later taunted Neville by sending him a signed copy of his book, calling the detective his #1 fan. Furious, Neville slammed the book down on the table and told girlfriend Sophie Chambers, Chelsea Edge, that he wasn't going to get away with this. The detective stormed off, driving to where David was staying and knocked on the killer's door. David is heard opening the door, saying, "You all right, Inspector? You don't seem yourself." Neville then replies, "I've had enough of your games. You can drop the act." The next thing fans know is the hotel room has been turned into a crime scene with David's lifeless body on the floor. In a shocking moment, the episode ends with the commissioner arresting Neville and Officer Marlon Price, Taj Miles, taking his boss to a prison cell. Death in Paradise fans were left stunned by the shocking scenes but are now thinking that the new love in Neville's life, Sophie, could actually be behind it all. Denise Welch sparks uproar with Nicola Bulley comments, reaction. Death in Paradise's Commissioner star details how character changed, explainer. Death in Paradise's Ralph Little on reason he downsized after 17 years, cast, taking to Twitter, @MiltonCookies said, "Sophie is suspect, how have you not heard anything?" Approached and dropped off a book #Death in Paradise. @Hume_Steph agreed, "I bet Sophie is in on it." #Death in Paradise, and @Survivant20s added, "Sophie is deep in this somehow, not sure how but she bloody well is." #Death in Paradise. While Sophie, it is also speculated, anyone get bad vibes from Sophie also? Like, what is her purpose? Must be something more to her than love interest. #Death in Paradise. Sophie was first introduced at the beginning of Season 12 when she was visiting the island as part of her travels. She quickly grew close to the detective, and while she had to return to the UK, Sophie flew back as soon as she could to reunite with Neville. He has been smitten with her, but with the detective now behind bars, is it merely a coincidence that this has happened as soon as she arrives back in St. Marie? Little's predecessors on Death in Paradise all starred in 3 seasons of the drama each. Neville was introduced in Season 9, so has been in the drama slightly longer than the others. With Season 12 reaching its grand finale next week, perhaps this could be the start of Neville's exit storyline. Death in Paradise Season 12 concludes on Friday, February 17, at 9 p.m. on BBC One.